Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I want to write some mods for a video game I've been playing. It's called Balatro. I'm gonna say Balatro. That seems most reasonable. And the way this game works is, you have like cards on a screen, and you are trying to create like poker hands out of them, right? So like you've got like your pair, two pair, three of a kind, straight flush, full house, four of a kind, straight flush, all that type of shit, right? And so like you get like a certain score for each type of hand played, right? So if I like pick these two kings, it says on the left here that's a pair, and your base score for a pair is like 10 points times a multiplier of 2. Then they add in the points of all of the cards that you are like playing. So in this case, the kings are worth 10. So we're going to add 10 when we play this for each card. This is going to become 30 times 2. We're going to get 60 points for this, which is not very good because we only have 4 hands to make 300, right? Let's make sure I did that math right. Cool. So, maybe at the beginning you start trying to like play for bigger hands, right? So we try to like discard cards, maybe try to get a flush or something. Here we got a flush. So here it's like 35 times 4, and then we have to add the value of the card. So it's 35, 45, 55, plus 15 is 70, 76 times 4, which is like 28, maybe like 304 or something. Is that right? 304? Maybe? If I got that right, I'm gonna be like very impressed with myself. 304, let's fucking go, baby. Right? Okay, so that's like kind of like the very base of the game. But then what happens is they give you money, and you use that money to like buy upgrades, right? So you can buy like things that have effects on cards, or like there are jokers which kind of like sit up here and they kind of like affect every hand, right? So let's like buy a buffoon pack, and we'll see like, okay, this is like, it gives me an extra +3 multiplier when spades are used, right? So I grab this guy, maybe I upgrade my flush, maybe we grab nothing. We'll just save our money for next round. So now we have this card, and he's like, yo, play spades if you fucking can, dude, right? So we have like, let's do a pair of kings and a pair of jacks. We have our 2 pair on the left, 20 times 2. We know that we have to add the values of these guys to like make the score go up on the left. So it's 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, so 70 times 2. But we also have this card now that says +3 multiplier for each spade. So we have 2 spades in here, so that becomes +6, right? So this is going to be 2. This 2 on the right is going to turn into an 8 because it's +6 on the multiplier. So what do we say it was? So this is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 times 8, which is like 360? No. 420? I want to say 420, but I'm not positive on that one. I was wrong, 480. So, right, we can start seeing the problem here. If we're trying to predict how many points we're going to get for a given hand, I am too stupid to calculate it. And like, as you get like, you can have like up to like 5 of these jokers by default, but you can get like expansion slots. So you can have like stacks of like 7 guys who are all like giving you like blue coins and red coins and like multiplying the multiplier and shit like that. And then you have like things that are going to take effect only on some cards, and you have things that like increase in value if you're using your most played hand. But you have to remember what your most played hand is now, which means you have to keep track of every time you played a pair and every time you played a flush, and like try to make sure that you're like playing the most common, or maybe not the most common one. Some things reset if you play the most common hand. And so it's like, I'm too stupid to keep track of all this. What if we just cheat? What if we just cheat? So that's kind of the plan for today, is I want to cheat at a video game because I'm too fucking stupid to do a little bit of math. Okay? Fine. And, you could say that's cheating, and you'd be right. And we're just going to embrace that for now, because the fun is not in playing the video game, it's beating the video game. Right? That's what it's about. So that's kind of the plan. So I was looking at the Balatro, source to code directory, or like not the source, like the Steam directory where I bought this game, right? And trying to figure out like, okay, like what's our entry point here? How do we start? And we got really lucky. It's actually like incredibly straightforward. So the game supports modding to begin with? I don't know. I have no idea. We didn't really get that far. But I opened this README that's just like sitting in this directory, and it's like, Love is an awesome framework to use 2D games in Lua. And you're like, oh, okay. What's that? So I do a quick Google. What did it say? Love or Love? Yeah, Love game engine, maybe. Love free 2D game engine. And we go in here and we look at the source code and we're like, okay, so there's like some guy in here, right? And we know that like he is trying to, they've probably written their games in Lua, right? And you'll go like, Lua? Lua's a scripting language, right? So like, what if we just get really fucking lucky and like we can somehow like find the source code for the game, maybe some minified source code for the game, like in the binary somewhere is kind of like my idea. So we like, we look in here and we sort by size, right? And we see like, okay, Balatro is like the biggest thing in here. Everybody else is DLL, and these DLLs are like probably not the game code, just like skimming them by name. They don't really look like it. So we're like, okay, Balatro, let's start there. Let's just see. Maybe we run strings on this guy and we just find some Lua in there. And it's like, okay, I see like names of Lua files, but I don't see like content at all in here. So we pull out our handy dandy tool, binwalk. This guy basically like just scans entire files for like known headers. So if we run binwalk on this guy, he goes like, okay, we've got a bunch of like zip archives in here. And you go, okay, and these zip archives have like names of like reasonable files attached to them, right? We're seeing like assets.png. Let's see if we find like Lua files in here. We see like sound files, glass og, like highlight to og, right? We see in here localization Luas. Like that's like really good sign, right? And so if we just go in here and we go, well, binwalk, sir, could you please extract just whatever you fucking find and put it somewhere? That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of nice of you. We give him a second. Give him some time to think because he's got to scan the whole thing. He's got to do the decompression. And then we go in here and we're like, holy shit, dude. That's like, we got some Lua, baby. And if we like look at the Lua, it's like, wait a second. This is just like the raw source code of the game, dude. That's kind of sick. We got comments. We got like we got the whole thing. We got the whole thing, so we can do whatever we want now, which is kind of sick. So I kind of figure we can just start kind of poking around in here and trying to do something. So maybe step one is to try to prove to ourselves that we can like do something with this, right? So the first thing I did was I was like looking at like Love 2D and just like looking for like instructions on like how to use this game engine. Getting started, right? Like let's just do like whatever stupid thing we can do. In short, yes, he does support modding. Yeah, I guess so. So running games and you just see like type love and then a directory. And I'm like, okay, what if we just did that? What if I just type love dot and it's like, oh, the game launches. So what we've actually done right now is we've just accidentally ported the game to Linux. I didn't really mean to do that in this process, but sure. Okay, so now we're not running through like the exe anymore. We're running on like native love Linux, which is kind of hype, and the game seems to work. In fact, that's how we were playing in the pre-stream segment. And what we should try to do is we should try to prove to ourselves that like we can make modifications here and see something happen, right? So maybe we look for the string play because we just saw that in big letters somewhere. I guess I have to get in it here or else my grep built in doesn't work because it uses like get ls files. So let's just look for, maybe play as a string. Okay. And if we just put in like 00000 here and we run love here, do we see some effect? Oh yeah, dude. Right? So we're just like fucking golden. We can just do whatever we want, which is pretty sick. And so we might as well use that to our advantage. So what's the problem we have? It's that when I it's that when I'm playing the game, I want to fucking know how much things are going to cost, right? I want to know how many points I'm going to get for a hand, right? I want to click this and he says 5 times 1. Maybe my goal here is to like put some like more UI over here, cram some more text in here that's like just writes down the final score. That would be kind of the goal. I think so. Let's just try to do that and see what happens. So somewhere in this game code, I guess we should probably leave the game open, because then we can kind of use it as a like entry point to find things, right? We can like kind of look for, I don't know, something. we can find some string that kind of represents what we're trying to do. I think this is the wrong folder actually. I think I extracted this once earlier. Yeah, I did. Let's do this one. Yeah, we can like start to look for some strings and then figure it out from there. Okay, so I guess we probably want to figure out like when we play a hand, what does it say when it calculates the full score? Not a lot. Round score is maybe a good clue here. Maybe we look for this because this UI element must be added to at the end of a hand, and then we can kind of figure it out there. Surely something knows the hand value before the animations run. I wouldn't really necessarily believe that. It's like I think it's likely, but maybe not guaranteed. So let's look for round score. Round score. No? That's kind of surprising. I would have expected this to be in there somewhere. What about like when we see like high card? No? Interesting. High card. Maybe they have. Oh, here we go. Wait, how come when I. Oh, it's capital C. Round score. So this is not. That must get injected somehow, some other way. But high score, maybe. Am I high? Didn't we just see somewhere else? Maybe not. I guess we can look for this. K high score X. Where is this used? High score alert. Sure. So like where? Oh, G game round scores. Okay, that seems promising. What is G? Maybe it's an image. Yeah, I guess it could be, huh? That would be kind of surprising to me, but maybe we could look at like textures and like yeah, XG open UI assets. Oopsies. Maybe, you know, let's kind of take a look at this guy. Okay, so not that one. Probably not this one, but we could like skim these. There are the cards. There's the decks. I guess the other thing we could look for is we could look for like that shop icon and try to figure out where. Oh, that's not here. We could look for like maybe something around this side of the bar and try to find this. But I like the path we were going on before, where we saw round scores in here somewhere. So this goes from G game, and we should probably try to figure out what G is. So it looks like it's not defined in this file. It's defined somewhere else. So I would bet here this guy requires function callbacks. And so I guess like this guy's running in the context of like the whole interpreter, which means that somebody somewhere must assign G equals self or G equals game. Okay. Sure. Globals. Why? Oh, I see. Here we go. So this guy has G equals game, and in here, game might override G to self, but I think that's fine. So we know that we have somewhere, like in this file probably, game.lua is probably where we're starting to look. And we're looking for like round scores. Here we go. Okay, cool. So I think that this lines up with like the text that I see at the end of if I like fail a run. Let's just quickly try to fail it. We'll just increase the animation speed here and then just play the worst things that we can think of. And so here we see like best hand, most played hand, cards played, blah, blah, blah. Furthest ante. Ante here. Furthest round here. Most played hand here. So I think that we're starting to see something. I did want to look for. I wanted to like show most played hand in the UI as well. So if we run out of time, most played hand. But okay, let's see. Best hand seems like something that we could look for, right? So we could look for whoever is assigning hand must do so after they've calculated the score, right? So where is this? This is in some start run, which is probably not what we want. I guess maybe like looking at the main loop is probably the play. So I would assume that like love run is saying like, yo, game engine, here is like our run loop. This is what we want to run. And he says main loop time in here, which I think kind of lines up with that. He does some like keyboard input handling, whatever. He's got some like timing for animations, I assume. Then love update seems likely to be where we're going. That's what I would call it. And then he like renders. Yeah, so surely this stuff is probably where we want to go, which calls game update. Okay. Love event pump. Those names, yeah, that is kind of fucking crazy. Actually, when you say it like that, that's crazy. Okay, so let's see. So he's got some like state manipulation here. He's like, are we in the shop? Are we playing a tarot? We're probably playing a hand, right? Hand played seems pretty likely to be where we are for calculating scores. Update draw to hand. So like, what's going on here? Let's see. So he's got like some event manager, I assume is what E manager stands for, and he's like throwing an event at it. Interesting. Okay. Calculate Joker. Okay, wait. This seems likely to be related in some way. G game, current round, discards used. For each Joker, calculate the Joker. Who maybe that's something. Calculate Joker. Here. So this guy has a huge nest of ifs. Sure. But is there like I see. So he's like, hey, if we're not debuffed, this card is not debuffed, and we are a Joker, and then he goes by Joker, each by name, maybe, and is like, what does he do with that? Like, say we're a blueprint. We look, the blueprint copies the guy to his right, if I remember correctly. So this guy must, he returns. Other Joker return. So this guy is like, must be like calculating some number or something. Let's see if we can find like there's a Joker that's just like ×4 mult. It would be kind of cool if we could find that guy. So can we I think there's like a main menu somewhere that lets me show all of the Jokers that we've ever seen. So this guy, he's just called Joker, +4 mult. Sure. So let's just look for Joker in here. If ability name equals Joker, he does mult mod. And then what does mult mod do here? Are we still in the same fucking calculate Joker function? We're in some function, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, we are. We're still in calculate Joker. So he had mult mod. So we should try to figure out where this is defined or where this is used, I guess. Right? Like, after all of this, he just like doesn't return? Where is mult mod coming from? Oh, I'm dumbass. This is the mult mod is in a return, so he's returning a dictionary, and sure. So in the Joker, the times 4 mult, he just returns this guy. Unless we're in some other like nested function that I missed, which we could be. This is a big ass function. I don't see any functions here yet. Just kind of skimming up, 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 up. So what I guess we could go back to the use of this guy and try to figure out if we see that. Calculate Joker. So like, you know, this guy just like does it. He doesn't like get some return value and do something with it. He just calls calculate Joker, which means I must be missing something. This could be nested somewhere. He does get a context passed in. Did we pass in a context over here? Wherever the fuck that was? Calculate Joker. Yes. Okay, I see. So he passes in a context which is like, hey, are we the first hand or not? If only we had a tool to map code bases. Hey now. We don't have to make fun of me like that. So it kind of seems like while this thing can return, callers aren't necessarily using it, which is confusing. And then also, like, I mean, they must be, right? When we see Joker here, and we see that he just returns multmod, somebody must be using that, right? Somebody must be. Can we look for, like, multmod after some dot? There's effects. Multmod. Okay, where does effects come from? That might be interesting. Eval card? Scoring hand for jokers? Calculate Joker and we get the eval, and then we insert effects into the eval. Wait, this looks promising. This looks promising, for sure. Right, so here, he rips over all of the cards in our hand that we played. Then he calls Calculate Joker, and he actually looks at the response. And then he inserts that thing into effects. And then for each effect after that, he applies the effect, probably? Yes. So, like, if affects dollars, then what do you think juice card does? We gotta know. We gotta know what juice card does. Juice up, baby. Juice up. Card, like, function, juice up. What the fuck does this do? Oh, maybe he's like giving me some indication that the thing happened, right? So if we go into here and we like play the card, maybe each of those like little blumps is like a juice, maybe, right? Because he multiplies the scale. So that would be my guess. And so it looks like, at least in this function, he's kind of like combining the calculation with other things. Okay. So it might actually not be trivial, which is kind of crazy. Scaling juice by hand value? Ah, I might have missed that. That's kind of cool. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, so it looks like, I guess, like, if there's any randomness involved, you don't know if the randomness applied until later. Right? You don't really know. Scoring hand is interesting. I'm assuming here that scoring hand is like this like high card here. That'd be my guess. Or maybe that's scoring name. Yeah, it is kind of weird that calculate jokers, like the context that we're passing in is it's like very different here compared to the context we were seeing from other places. Right? In other places we were seeing like first hand. Okay, poker hands, other card, individual. Okay, whatever. So he applies all of the effects, I assume, and then each of these effects, like if there is a multiplier on this guy, he mod mults this thing, which just okay, sure. I'm not gonna ask too many questions. So he increases the multiplier here, and then surely, like at the end of this thing, he must do something times multiplier. Right, he must. At like the end of all of this, update hand text, hand chips times mult. After some delay, check and set high score to hand chips times mult. Okay. That seems reasonable to some extent. So here is like the sauce that we're looking for. Okay, let's kind of say that this was like, we kind of like figure out where hand score is. I think we've kind of figured that out. And now we're going to see if we can like pre-calculate that somehow. Pre-calculate? First check, then zip the high score. Look, man, we're not here to like make fun of anyone's coding style. Like, you know, if it works, right? I think that like this game is like super fucking fun. And so like I don't think it makes sense to be like LOL, what funny function names. It's like, yeah, kind of, but also like this game bangs. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay. So it does seem to me like we're kind of fucked. Right? If we want to pre-calculate the score, it looks like a lot of stuff goes through here. So I guess the question is can we like extract information about like the minimum and maximums and stuff? Or like where does randomness get applied, I guess? Is the question. So I think like there are some jokers that have like 1 in n chance to do something. Dude, can we just like cheat and unlock all this stuff? It would be nice to be able to browse the fucking jokers. None of these are probability based. None of the ones that we have yet, because I copied this account just now. Okay. I guess we could just look it up. Balatro cards. Main menu, profile, unlock profile. Oh, sick. Wait, so you can just cheat? Like it's built into the game? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay. Hell yeah, good eye. Okay. Cool, let's look for something that's like probability based. None of these. 1 in 4 chance 8 ball. Let's look for the 8 ball and see how that works. Let's look for 8 ball. So it was called 8 ball. Here we go. So this would be not this one. Maybe this one. This looks like it. So we are in calculate joker. So he says like, yo, if we have 8 ball and the number of consumable cards plus the buffer is less than card limit. Okay. Oh, sure, because the 8 ball like produces something. Yeah, he creates a tarot card. So he's saying if we have an 8 ball and you can use this thing. Oh, you know what? This is actually like a really interesting implication for how the game works actually. Because this means that the random chance never rolls unless you have the slot available. I don't know if that matters. It feels like that matters. The randomness is seeded, right? Couldn't you just peek instead of pulling for the next random? Yeah, I guess so. But I want to see if like this function consumes the randomness or not. Right? That's kind of my concern here. Is like that if I wanted to pre-calculate and I just ran calculate Joker, like this consumes randomness, which kind of sucks. I guess maybe we can save the RNG, run calculate Joker, and then set it back. But then we have this like, then it's like unfortunate because you are cheating because you can know how the randomness will be applied before it happens. And yes, we are trying to cheat, but I don't want to cheat that much. Right? I kind of want to know like I kind of want to know like what my lower and upper bound is, I guess. Okay. So maybe maybe we can like isolate some parts of this. Like like some of the jokers are going to just have like raw multiplier stats. Right? Maybe we try to leverage that in some way. So like let's look at the definition of joker, right? Here he says self ability mult, which sounds kind of sick. It sounds like maybe we could get away with just looking at the ability fields of these guys. So like can we look for like swashbuckler? Are these sorted by name? It looks like it. So no, I lied. Order. I saw an order 110 in there. Yeah, here. Order 110. So if these have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 3, 75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 3? 5, no, 15, sorry. So if we're looking for 110, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Swashbuckler should be like here somewhere? Maybe I'm a dumbass. Oh, here. Okay. So this guy says add the sell value of all other jokers returned to Joker to malt. Okay, so let's go back and look at Swashbuckler here. And he does just return self ability dot malt, which means that probably every hand when we like add jokers to our hand, they must update this guy. Right? It looks like they're kind of just using ability names kind of raw everywhere. Okay, so what's happening here? What's going on? Generate UI box ability table. Okay, who gives a fuck about that? No one gives a fuck. Aha! Here we go. So somewhere, this guy's ability malt gets added. So this is on card update. On card update, if stage is run, Oh, sure. He just calculates the cost of all the jokers here. Maybe this is every frame. When is card update run? Uh, card update maybe. Is this in card? Okay. Self update. No. Someone must call this though. Someone must. G update. Then in the game we have all these like different cases. None of these look like card updates. E manager update, update text, update object. That maybe sounds interesting. Like there might be like they might pass the card into the event manager and then call update on it later. UI element update, node update, Dynatext update. What is controller? How any human interacts with game objects. Okay. Well. Interesting. Is there like, can you like backtrace in Lua? Like, can I just like fucking like print? Can I print at all? I think I saw some prints in the console earlier. Error loading game. So there's like a print function. So can we just go in here and like print our traits back? We're kind of hype. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if that does something interesting. Do you semicolon in this language? Looks like no. So if we're just like, yo, let's run this shit again. Aha! Wait, that's hype. So it looks like this is getting called like every fucking frame. Which makes sense. Okay, so this is getting called from game. Game Lua 2632. 2632. Ah. I see. I see. So that's why it was hard to find, is because it's like in some table. Movables are probably the jokers or something. Or like the cards at all. All cards are probably movable. And so they're just like updating them all here. Sure, fuck it. Whatever. Okay, so we know this thing is like updated every frame. And so every frame, we rip over all of our jokers and we say, here is his new multiplier. Okay. So I guess the question now becomes, like, are there things that have ranges? There are things that have, like, randomness to trigger. But are there things that have, like... I guess I know that there's some joker in here. This one, misprint. Who picks, like, a random number every frame. So I want to look at misprint and see if, like, maybe the misprint card might have, like, his minimum maximum values, which he does. He does have that in here, right? He has in extra data here. Min 0, max 23. That's gotta be it, right? So can we look for, like, usage of misprint? So I guess this would be on calculate joker, would be my guess. He probably checks if it's misprint, and he looks at ability extra min to ability extra max. Oh, okay. Fuck. So it looks like it's not as simple as we can just look at the ability content, because the behavior of this thing, like, depends. It depends on the thing. So, unfortunately, there's nowhere that exists in the code right now that is like like decouples the running of the pseudo random number generator from the output, which is kind of interesting. Why is this mult mod? Was it always mult mod? It was. But we can probably take some guesses, right? So maybe for now we do our best guess. Yeah. So we know that the card is likely to have an ability field that has a mult on it, right? Like it's just like in the like stupid base case, we know that much. Now, can we just apply that blindly? Probably not, right? Because there are some of these guys, like the Lusty Joker, who applies his multiplier when there are heart for each heart card. So can we look at like how that works? How come this is only used here? Oh, he has S mult for suit multiplier. So if ability effect is suit mult, oh okay. And other card is suit. But doesn't he have to do this once per card that's scored? So if he has to do this once per card that's scored, oh, this isn't return. Some things return mod mult and some things return mult. And maybe this isn't even the same fucking function. Context individual. Haha. Okay, that's interesting. So if we're saying that we are an individual thing, then we are probably looping over card by card, and other card is telling us what that card is. Okay. God, we're just so fucked. It's just what we want is like so hard to extract. It's so hard to extract. Which is like fair. They didn't write the game for me to do this. So it seems like we're going to have to duplicate some functionality of this function. And we're going to try our best, I guess, to avoid doing that. So we know that we have what? We have X mult. We have card.ability has X mult, which is like the multiplier that it applies. We have mult, which is in the context of like Joker, right? This guy's just like a raw mult, and it's mult mod. So card ability mult goes to like calculate Joker mult mod. We know that we saw some of like on the random Joker that we were looking at. What was he called? Misprint. We know that he had extra min and extra max. Extra, which we could probably assume is like card specific. And for like misprint, we have min and max. Okay. What else do we know? We know that like pseudo random number random number generation is done in Joker scoring. So either we need to replace like store/reset RNG and call, or we want to not call. These are our two options. These are our two options. I would like to start by trying our best to like reproduce the behavior of this guy in advance. Because I think that like calculating min and maximum is just different than calculating actual. So let's do that. Let's try to find somewhere where we can hook. Like somewhere when we like select cards. Right? Like this is where we would want to calculate this, right? On card change, we want to go, what do we think this is going to be? So I guess we find that. This must be, I would bet this is like some name related to like hand or something. We kind of know we have like our update function in game is kind of like the base of everything. And update selecting hand seems pretty likely. Hi, Mom. So can we just kind of see? Oh, let's get that that debug traceback out of there. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need you anymore. We don't need you anymore. Play? Okay. Play. Okay, so it looks like we are in selecting hand state this whole time, and then probably as soon as I play a hand, we're no longer in it. So this is happening every frame. The selecting hand state is like a constant thing that's always happening. And so probably on update selecting hand, probably you like click on a card, and that will like push the card up and down. Right? It must be. So if Jesus Christ, if all of this, okay, so if I assume this is like we clicked a card, right? It's gotta be. Clicked? It's gotta be. Like, what else would that be? It's really cool that it's not minified. I'm curious to know if that's like an intentional decision or not. Okay, so not the case. We were wrong. We are not seeing clicked here. So I guess we are incorrect. So if not deck preview and not overlay menu, and we have a deck and we have the cards and the card collide is okay. And not controller or held buttons trigger left. Oh, so maybe this is like when we're like hovering the deck. Yeah, that kind of seems likely. Huh. Did I accidentally put a semicolon on here or something? That's not good. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. That would do it. Not code. What am I fucking doing? Love dot. There we go. Okay, so I now think that that's on deck hover. Yes, here we go. So it's when we hover the deck, that's what that is. Okay. So this is deck hover. Okay, so we don't give a shit about this if at all. If not self buttons and deck preview, buttons state visible, hand cards less than one, we end round. Huh. So none of this seems like somehow. Maybe this? Like somehow none of this looks like the part where I click on the card. Right, hand wavy, just nothing in here really screams that to me. If not stage complete, then we are complete. I mean, how is that? Doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I see. This is like we are in some stage and we have now completed now. And if we are out of cards, then they end the round. Sure. But then, like, where maybe buttons? Like, we could try maybe returning early here. Just to, like, see how that fucks everything up. And if we stop seeing, like, hands being able to update, he doesn't like that, then that's kind of a good sign. Why can't I return here? What the fuck? Oh, maybe I have to return a thing. And expected to close function. Am I stupid? Can you not, like, return from inside an if? Can we just maybe comment this stuff out then? I don't know, man. Is this to try to make total hand score visible without playing the hand? I want to show the range, not the like actual score. Okay, so commenting all that out disabled these buttons down here. It did not disable the hand card selection, which is kind of interesting. Okay, which lines up with my current understanding. And we're not in here, so update selecting hand is just not. It's not updating the selections of the hand. Right? Clearly. As far as I know, it's a solo dev plus publisher. Probably not too worried about cloning. Left2D itself has no real obfuscation support. Interesting. I am surprised. I mean, maybe like legal stuff protects him. Maybe, or maybe he just doesn't care. All of that's like very possible. Okay. So who else would like move the card up? We could also like, do you think the card owns his like XY position? Like, who do you like? Someone somewhere must know something when I like drag these guys around, right? So like, who the fuck is in charge of that? Like, where do the cards come from? I guess is the question, right? We know that we have like V update here. Movables, self movables is where the cards are living. If we have movables and we have tried to move this object more than it takes to move the object within a frame, I would guess is what this means. Then he applies the move. So card move. V is probably a card because this is cards here. Yes. Okay. So we probably have like card move here. And what is align H pop up? Is that like when we click? Maybe. Maybe. Is there like a click on here? Ooh, okay. Interesting. So if we... How do you like early return from a Lua function? Am I like fucking stupid for not knowing? Yeah. Do return end? What the fuck? So I can return here? Oh, I guess it's like if I'm in an if, I have to do return end like this. Is that what they're saying? That's crazy. What a weird language. Okay, so this is valid because I'm not in an if statement. Probably. So if we return up at the front, we're hoping to see that that the cards are no longer clickable. Nope, okay, well, fuck me, I guess. Do return end. This is not the last. What language is this? Lua. Okay. How does it scale? I like games that do ultra wide by just like cramming the whole thing into the center. Oh, nice. You can like fuck up their shaders if you make it really small. Okay. Cool. So now we are seeing that when I click these things, I can click and drag them still, but if I click them, they don't go up. So that's a good sign. We're starting to find the where the code actually does the clicking. So add to highlighted, I would assume is this thing. So self area, my guess here is that you have like jokers up here, right? And jokers cannot be selected or cannot be highlighted is their terminology for this. And in the hand they can. So probably like all three of these things for like the extra cards and the jokers and this hand are all areas. And in some areas you can sure click things and some you can't, I assume. So can we look for like can highlight in here somewhere? Card area can highlight. Okay. And if the config type is hand or joker or consumable or shop, okay, hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's starting to make sense. Okay. So, trying to bring ourselves back. What are we trying to do again? We are trying to calculate do some form of calculation when the thing is clicked. That's what we're trying to do. So it's literally just this. Here we want to print Joker score. Calculate time, right? This is where we wanted to do this as our first pass. Before trying to hook into UI in any way, we just want to, do something. Play. Okay, so now when we click these things, calculate, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so now what? We need to like rip jokers. We need to like some value of highlighted cards. We need to figure out which hand we are, which this is information that we definitely have. Then we need to like rip jokers and find min max score question mark. Okay, cool. I want to look at like also I want to look at the ice cream one. So there's an ice cream joker that like starts with 100 blue coins, and every time you play a hand, subtracts some coins from them. So can we figure out? He does chip mod here, and he uses extra chips. So self ability extra chips. Does everybody kind of define it as extra chips? Looks like it. Okay. Dude. I think if we are going to if we are going to implement this properly, it's literally like we have to copy paste like almost this whole function. It just seems like it's the only thing that makes sense because they've got so much hard-coded logic in here. Like there's cards that say like, let's see, there's cards that say like, like if your card is a pair, add 50 chips. So that's Sly Joker. Let's see how they do that. Sly Joker. Here? No. Okay, that's interesting. So this guy set Joker config T chips type pair. Okay. I was gonna say maybe we're screwed because there's like some guys that are looking specifically at specific cards, but I guess a lot of these would work okay without doing that, right? T chips. Yeah, here we go. Interesting. Interesting. All right. I guess let's just start running it and figure it out. Why min max and not total? Because I'm trying to have the game put information that I could figure out if I were to do math for me in the end, like somewhere. I do not want the game to give me exactly an answer that depends on chance, which is why I need to give min max. Okay, cool. So where was our other thing now? Where do we say calculate time? Here. Okay. So let's this is in card Lua. Okay. Card, click in card Lua. Like, we're just gonna remember this for later. So that's where we're going back to, and then calculate Joker. Calculate Joker is also in card. Okay. So I guess we're gonna do something that's like adjacent to this. Sorry, Ginger, you're gonna have to wait, okay? Calculate Joker is going to be pre-calculate Joker, I guess. Um, mm, yeah, maybe. And we are going to like we know our context probably. Let's just start by like returning. We know that there are like traits of Jokers that we like are common, right? We know we have ability.malt, right, from the Joker guy. Yeah, ability.malt. So let's just start there. We don't have to get everything off rip. We just have to, let's just do something. So maybe we don't even do this here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we do it in here. I guess let's try to find the list of Jokers. Maybe. So we know that somebody is calling calculate Joker in a loop. Right? In game, maybe? State events? Where did we find? We found somewhere that it actually like applied everything. Joker effects here. So state events in effects is where this is actually done. State events, Lua. At like around evaluate play is where actual calculation is done. Okay. Okay. All right, Ginger, come here, please. Come here. Wow, one sec. She's irritated. One sec. Come here. Up. Coming. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to come all the way over. Yep. Come on. Yep, all the way in. Let's go. Sorry, bud. You're gonna have to wait it out. Okay, down. All right. Good.
Chill for a bit.
Okay. Okay. So for G Joker's cards, seems promising. Maybe. And then is that how you do this for 1 to G Joker's cards? Maybe we start here. Can we just try to see what they are? Um. Okay, so we have repetitions on the Joker. Where did they do? Didn't we see calculate Joker in here? Here. So why is this different up here? Oh, because effects are different than the score, I guess. But here they do for G Joker's cards, where K is the number of cards. Yeah, okay. I know. So we know that we have G Joker's cards I. And in here, we want to look at like Joker ability dot mult. Let's just start there. Or maybe can we print the whole thing? Can you print trees or like tables in this language? Maybe? I don't remember. I guess that means that we need to have a Joker. So I guess we could maybe try to mod this to like inject a Joker into this guy. How do we do that? Maybe that's the place to start so we don't have to like just play the game to figure it out. G Jokers in place card. Where card is create card. Okay. Create card. He like we have that like table of all cards, right? Somewhere here. Like where are these used? P centers, J Joker. P centers. Like who uses this? Hmm. Like a So somewhere, we must be able to like put the Joker in G Jokers. So like this guy is like in the shop, I think. Use card. He. Oh wait, Joker's in place here. So if he found a card with Joker. Okay, and then if we go back to like J Jokers, does he have ability set Joker here? He does. So presumably we can just fucking slap whatever we want in the Joker's array. I think, like on initialization. That seems kind of reasonable. Is there some sort of like initialization? Parse game arguments. G startup. Here we go. This is probably where we would do it, right? Can we just like at the end of all of this stuff do like G Jokers in place. Self P. It wasn't. It was P. P centers. P centers. J Joker. Right? Can we just do this? Maybe? That's like a. That's a maybe. Nope. G dot jokers. So that does exist, but just not yet. So who, I guess somebody. Self jokers equals card area. Here we go. So I guess this is later. This is in start run. Sure. Fuck it. That seems reasonable. So at the end of start run, then we will do it. We'll do it here. Fine. Let's try that. All right. Play. New run. Play. Do we have our joker? No. Set card area a nil value. Damn. We're we're too good. We're too clever for our own good. Okay. So clearly we need some state for this that does not exist. It looks like add to deck is relevant. And I'm kind of curious, like jokers to create. What I'm confused about is like it doesn't ever like say which joker, you know? You know? But it does seem like this is not a card. You know? Now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't really feel like a card yet. So create card does seem promising. Okay, so type here. Okay, card equals create card. Joker. And then they had a bunch of nil values, I think. Yeah, so they did this, and let's just see if we can kind of piece together what these arguments are and if they kind of make sense for our case. And then how do we like set the attributes of this to the J Joker guy? Okay. No semicolons here. I forgot. So let's look at the implementation of a create card now that we have thing. So area, jokers, legendary, not set, rarity, 0, skip materialize, solvable, forced key append. Interesting. Okay, then if type is joker, then not clear. Not clear. I'm just tuned in and I'm confused. Are we looking at Ballatrosaurus? Yeah, we're trying to make a little bit of a mod. So jokers to create is just like a number. This is a bad place to check because he's in some ability. So let's look for somewhere else that does this. Like what about like on like surely in this function start run or maybe like load run or something? Somebody must like take jokers from a save file and like put them somewhere, right? Load? Okay, let's look for like the entry point to like to when we continue a game. So continue, we hit play. So I guess the question is like, where is continue in here? B continue. Okay, so func can continue. G funcs can continue. Okay. Is set here. And here they look at save Joker. And then clearly when like we click on it, it must be when we click the play button, which we know now says play with a bunch of zeros. So we can look for B play cap. And somebody, when that thing is hit, is going to like do a thing. Main menu play. So not this one. This one is... Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. Not looking too promising. Not looking too promising. I know, dude. I'm sorry. Dot JKR. Right, we saw, okay, save manager. Load. Okay, what about like get compressed, music functions, remove, compress and save, get compressed, saved game. Okay. Start run with the saved game in here. Wait, hold on. Okay, so here on start run, the arguments, we have a save table and we prep stage. Ah, okay, here we go. So the save table must have jokers in here, right? He has to. He has to. So if not save table, add event. Oh, this is like UI function stuff. Card areas. For P and card areas, do load. Yeah, okay. Wait, this is G K, where K is card areas. So in like he's going to call load on the Joker table. Right, so we're gonna have card area load, yes. And he's gonna loop over all of the cards. Ah, okay. And then he's gonna look at the card.load. So I was kind of wrong about the P centers J Joker, I feel like. Cause like, what about like J Greedy Joker, you know? Like who uses this? Like, this isn't used anywhere, but clearly, like, these things are defined in here somehow. I guess we could just, like, somebody, when they go from the shop, could, like, construct these guys by looking at the P centers table. If it's, like... I don't know. Yeah, like, in the shop, somebody, like, the Joker's gonna show up sometime. Surely. Oh, wait, V set ability? Ooh. Okay. This is it. This is it. It's card set ability. So someone who calls this. Set ability. Center true. Cards in it? Ooh, this is looking promising. So he, like, initializes with some center. So does create card do something like that? Ooh, a copy card here. No, so create card does not do that. But I wonder if we can just do that ourselves. Like, maybe when we were doing our, like, start run here, we, like, create the card and we do, like, card set ability G or self P centers J Joker. That's like a maybe, right? We could do something like that. Maybe. Let's fucking go! So now, if I click this, does it work? Let's go! And then we do a new run, and we should have the Joker. And we hit play. And it works. Let's go! Okay, all of that to just, like, get a test set up. So now when we try to do our calculate time, we now know where these guys live. So if we wanted to Lua dump table, like, how am I supposed to do this? Really? I have to, like, iterate over the pairs? That's annoying. Okay, but we do know that she should have, like, mult, right? That's what we're kind of hoping here. Play. So I click here. We do see some 4s there, which is good. That's not good. The fact that this guy is half height. So we've got some bugs in there for sure. But blaze it. All right. Unfortunately, I feel really bad for my dog. Like, she's having tummy issues today, and she's, like, really growling. So, unfortunately, I think I have to call this because I can't ignore her anymore. I feel so bad. So, we've definitely had some fun. I think that we've gathered a lot of information. We kind of know the overall layout of this thing, and I think we'll just swing back by tomorrow and try to finish the implementation of this thing because I think it's possible. Yeah, it's kind of fun though. So, apologies for the abrupt end, but if you like what you saw, we're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna keep going. We stream most days at 12:30 Pacific time to 4 o'clock Pacific time. It is 3 o'clock Pacific time now, so you can expect to see us online between 2.5 hours ago and an hour from now on most days. We are kind of on a weird schedule today because my poor little doggy is a little bit sore. But yeah, think that's. I'm not gonna do much plugging today, so we'll be back. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. YouTube, peace out, and Twitch, let's find someone to raid.